Hey, you've got Crave here, and it took a while, but Blood and Wine is finally coming out at the end of this month, like I mentioned earlier, and this video is going to focus on the things you can expect in the last expansion or DLC for The Witcher 3. So this is going to be like my introduction video for Hearts of Stone, and it's really just a summary of the stuff you can expect in the final expansion. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, the Witcher series color palette has changed since the very first game, Witcher 1 and 2, and while it still maintained the dark atmosphere, there's really no denying that the world setting has added more color to it. Now, Blood and Wine takes it further by bringing us players into the land of Toussaint, so I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So, from the teaser trailer and the screenshots that we've been seeing on the web, it brings a very colorful atmosphere to the Witcher world. Now, Toussaint also has this very, I would say, relaxed setting, at least from the onset. Now, the personalities involved appear to be, to have a taste for pleasures like wine, and the male characters have this idealistic goal of becoming heroes, or, being that archetype. And CDPR has also mentioned that the new location was built from the ground up, which means new assets were used for creating the world of the DLC. Now, they also promised that Blood and Wine would look better compared to the base game. From the information I've gathered so far, it appears that Blood and Wine will require that you should have completed the main storyline's quests, which means it should bring you to about your mid-level 30s. And it appears to be targeting level 35 to be specific, so to be safe, bring your Geralt up to that level unless you've been scouring content, which means you've been spending a whole lot of time in the game, you should be good. Now, I haven't really gone into it, but for those who like New Game Plus, the max level is being up to apparently level 100 according to VG247. So for those who really want to relive the experience constantly, then you've got more longevity in that aspect. Hearts of Stone, which is the previous expansion, brought with it runewords, which added some changes to Geralt's combat style. So it basically got stronger as you reach higher tiers of the system. So it added more options in terms of how you play the game. Now, Blood and Wine is also doing the same by adding Mutations, which modifies some of your abilities also. But I think the limit is around 12 this time, unlike before where you had a couple of them and they eventually evolved into a higher tier. Now, one of the frequently used examples I see in YouTube videos and in different articles is that this modification to Ard, which is your force type attack or your air blast attack, which besides the usual knockback effect that it had, it now has the possibility to freeze and shatter and instantly kill an enemy. I think that's pretty handy. Now, I assume there will be a cost and quest associated with this one, but it sounds, well, I don't know how that will go, but it sounds pretty exciting. One more thing is that they've also added a die system into the game. I know it's a cosmetic thing, it's cosmetic in nature, it's not really going to affect your combat style, it's really just how Geralt will look, but it's an option to be able to sort of dress up your Geralt the way you want him to look. And I initially thought this would be limited in terms of color choices, but after checking out the developer insights video, it looks like they're going beyond that. Checking out the developer screenshot, which you're seeing in your screen right now, it appears that to basically match the amount of color that is present in the location of Toussaint. So I don't think, personally right now, I don't think I'll be recoloring my armor like that, but who knows, and I can change my mind if the game really sort of gets me going, then I might try out different colors. Now, in addition to dyes, Geralt also gets a little house of sorts, or a vineyard, and let's just call it player housing or something like it. And it's nice because it gives you more options for stuff to do in the game. From what I've been reading, you can do a little design changes and stuff like that. You can put in trinkets in your house. And personally and honestly, I found this to be a bit strange, though, because of Geralt and who he is. He's always been a wanderer and moving from one contract to another, and he's never been the type to just settle down. If you remember in the Hearts of Stone expansion, that was one of the reasons why Geralt had that conversation with one of the main characters in the game, and the conversation revolved around staying put in one place, and how it wasn't really Geralt-like to do that. But on the one hand, I also suppose it makes sense, this whole player housing thing, or this vineyard thing, is that uh, because of what happened to his yearly retreat location in the main game. Now, just like what I was doing earlier, I won't spoil what happened if you're just about to purchase the base game. But yeah, if you played through the base game, you'll also see there that something happened to his Geralt's yearly retreat location. So yeah, on the one hand, although I don't understand why there would be a vineyard, on the other side, I also understand it. So it's well, let's see how it plays out once the expansion launches. And that's it for this quick video, just really the major things that are coming in the final expansion or major DLC for The Witcher 3. Now, there are other changes like major graphical improvements and refinements in the UI, which are all very welcome, of course, and CDPR has really just been generous with the stuff they've been doing for us as gamers in terms of their game. But in terms of what happens really inside the game, I just wanted to mention those things earlier, discuss them with a little bit more detail. They're basically the ones that have my attention. Now, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 31st, so I can, I hope the preload is made available quickly and, just to be able to play it at launch. I also, I do also have other Witcher 3 videos and Hearts of Stone uploads if you'd like to check them out. So for me, just expect more Blood and Wine content when the game releases. Again, this has been Crave, and thanks for watching.